We will now continue to record the public comment session. As a reminder, your recorded comments will be distributed to the MTA board and will be posted to our board meeting webpage and YouTube channel. Our next speaker will be Monica Barty, followed by Michael Ring.
Good morning. My name is Monica Bartley. I'm a member of Disabled in Action of Metropolitan New York. I'm glad to see that congestion pricing has been on pause, as it is an important step toward reducing traffic and improving air quality in our city. However, while we need the revenue from congestion pricing to fund vital infrastructure projects, including the elevator upgrades at subway stations, there is a clear shortfall in the funding required. It is now the responsibility of Governor Hochul and the state legislatures to step up and find the necessary funding to ensure these essential improvements are fully realized. Also, recently, my rides with Access-a-Ride are 1 to 2 hours late, which is very frustrating. I'm calling on the MTA to expand the on-demand pilot program so we can have other options, as I realize that it's not going to get any better. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker will be Michael Ring, followed by Monique Johnson.
Hi, I'm Michael Ring. Just recently promoted to Vice President of Disabled in Action. And I'd like to thank Kathy Hochul for doing 2/3 of a job in congestion pricing. We'll have 1/3 still traffic jams. It seems to be that she likes to be stuck in traffic. So with 1/3 of that effort, I am still running for governor, and hope a real New Yorker will run it. A lot of really smart people who understand traffic and paying for things were in support of congestion pricing the way it was. But actually, more seriously, I'm in the on-demand program for Access-a-Ride, and it is life-changing. It doesn't cost that much more than regular Access-a-Ride. It might even cost less. And I can get to where I want to go, like a person who wants to go to work. I could leave when I'm ready to leave. I can work until the end of the workday, or I can go to a meeting that we don't know when it's going to end. I don't know when this meeting is going to end. I could leave when it ends and get home like everyone else does. So I'm urging the MTA to expand the on-demand program to the people who want it. It's turning out that many people don't want it. They'd rather use regular Access-a-Ride, and that's fine. But it should be an option for everybody because it's life-changing. It works if you have a job, and it works if you have an emergency. So thank you for your time.
Our next speaker will be Monique Johnson, followed by Jean Ryan.
Just unmuting you.
Huh? Now we can start. Hi, my name is Monique Johnson. I'm with DUI. I'm here about Access-a-Ride. I want to show you how they sit and watch YouTube while they're driving. I also want to show you many of them. This is what they're jeopardizing our lives too, watching YouTube while they're driving us to get to our destination. I also want to show you how the buses are not pulling up to the street. So people that needs necessity to get on the bus can't get on the bus because they're not even pulling up to the line to where they need to. They stop in the middle of the street We have to worry about the bike riders. We have to worry about the cars that want to sneak through. We have to worry about everything just to get from one destination to another. And it's a shame. All we was trying to do just to be able to live a life just like anybody else. For Cesar, I think that it's okay for them to watch YouTube and not be on time. They had took me to a destination, but all of a sudden they didn't know how to find me to take me back home. I was out there for an hour and a half. I had to end up taking the bus home. And this is on 2 occasions. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Jean Ryan, followed by Edward Schroeder.
Hello, my name is Jean Ryan, and I'm president of Disabled in Action of Metropolitan New York, DIA for short. I want the Access-Ride. I want the MTA to expand on demand to more trips and more money per trip so that people who live in the outer boroughs can get where we need to go without spending money that we don't have, that the allotment does not cover now. We can't help it that it costs a lot of money for the tolls. We can't help it that we live far away. We live in the outer boroughs. So for something to be fair, there should be more money allowed per trip. And also, thousands more people should be in on-demand, e-health on-demand program because it's life-changing. I had to quit my job in 1998 because of Access-Ride. I could not get to and from work without spending hours each way. It was very, very difficult. I would never know if they would come or not. They would be late or they wouldn't come at all. And I was just completely worn out and had to quit my job. I hope that never happens to anyone else ever, because with on demand, it's life-changing. And people can actually not have to be driven around on the 5-borough tour. They can go straight from one place to another and not have to wait and be on long trips. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Edward Schroeder, followed by Elizabeth Valdez.
Talk to here. My name is Edward Schroeder, and I wanted to talk about the Woodlawn 4 train that goes up to Woodlawn. It's like overly crowded. Like I take the train back to Woodlawn a lot, and it's like it's almost an air wanting to know if they could put more rush hour trains on there because it's like really badly overcrowded. Sometimes I have to wait for another train, and it's like between like 4 p.m. and 7, and it doesn't die down until after 8, and it starts about 3, and it's like for a lot of people, and so if you can do that, that would be great. Thanks.
Our next speaker is Elizabeth Valdez, followed by Nicolas Vargas.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Valdez, and I am the Systems Advocate at BCID. The The on-demand pilot program has had a profound impact on my life. It has greatly enhanced my productivity by eliminating the need to meticulously plan my outings. Now I can easily handle emergencies, spend quality time with friends, and enjoy spontaneous trips, all thanks to the convenience of the on-demand service. However, the program is currently limited to a very small number of accessoride users, which is restrictive. I strongly believe that it should be expanded, at least to include the riders who have been using the service the longest. These loyal users also deserve the opportunity to benefit from this program. I urge you to consider extending the program either during this pilot phase or in future iterations to accommodate more riders. Thank you.
Moving over to Zoom, our next speaker will be Nicolas Vargas, followed by Alita Dupree. Nicolas, hold one moment. We can't hear you.
How about now?
That's better. That's better.
Better now.
Much sorry about that. Housing outreach specialist at the Brooklyn Center for the Independence of the Disabled. I'm here advocating for and with our friends, family, and coworkers with disabilities who are essential parts of our communities. As many know, congestion pricing is back on the table here in New York. It's an important piece of the budget conversation, but as many know as well, politics in Albany can be fickle and unpredictable, leading to compromises and sometimes disappointment. Something that cannot be compromised is that people with disabilities need accessibility now. Something that is not unpredictable is that people with disabilities and their allies will show up and turn out in the streets and at the polls if this does not happen. Accessorides, subway elevators, and other accessibility upgrades are not luxuries, they are necessities. The state and MTA must find and fully fund these upgrades immediately. MTA must expand Accessoride to all people and to greater trip destinations. Doing so is not only a matter of compliance with our newly updated state constitution and city and state human rights law, it's a statement of our values. It's our opportunity to show New Yorkers and the world that we prioritize the rights and needs of people with disabilities. There should be no further delays, no excuses when it comes to projects that aim to undo the harm by decades of systemic discrimination against people with disabilities. This city and its institutions have fallen short in the past, but we have the chance to correct that course today. Right now, 23 subway elevator stations, accessibility projects have been canceled. Every delay, every cancellation doesn't just pause progress, it actively harms people. Every delay means more and more people are barred from the reliably getting to work, getting to the doctor, getting to family birthday parties, and getting to be a part of the community. Every delay makes it harder for these critical improvements to ever come to fruition. The MTA and the New York State needs to honor their commitments and deliver on promises of accessible transit for all. No more empty promises, no more delays. Our friends, coworkers, family members, and neighbors with disabilities deserve full, unencumbered access to this city, just like everyone else. This is not just about transportation.
conclude your
This is about
remarks.
equity. It's about justice, and it's about ensuring every New Yorker can navigate the city with
Thank you for
freedom
your
and
remarks.
dignity.
Our next speaker will be Alita Dupree, followed by Iman Ramai Doster.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair Jano Lieber and members. Alita Dupree for the record, she and her with Team Folds. Wish I could be with you in person. I have disabilities and that can affect me getting on a 6-hour flight to come see you. I'm going to take a different tack today. I've been reading through these reports and I know some of my video was lost last month, but we have two really great presidents of the railroads, and we're seeing 80 to 90% ridership on the railroads. So we want to keep working on that playbook. And we're doing well with our subway. I would like to see clarification with the reports as far as how our subway is doing as we compare it to pre-COVID era. I think we're probably in the 80% range. And the capital work with the new locomotives for Metro North is very helpful. We will be able to operate on third rail instead of emitting diesel emissions in third rail territory. So I'm looking forward to seeing that come into its own. But I let you know, even though I can't be with you, that I take my subway very seriously. And it's not something just to be used, but to be enjoyed. And so I bring you this context and positive energy to your meetings because I enjoy meetings. And I brought you some Grand Central Terminal. I wanted to show you what Right Down the Line by Jerry Rafferty looked like when I saw it in the fall of 1980. So I hope to be back on the system soon, and I really enjoy meeting up with you on the road. It's really nice when it happens. So thank you for today's joint meeting, and maybe I'll be at the board meeting later. Thank you.
Our final speaker will be Iman Ramari Doster.
Hi, good morning. My name is Iman Ramali Doster, and I'm a senior community organizer with New York Lawyers for the Public Interest. NOPI commends the governor and the MTA in the decision to move forward with the congestion pricing plan. Not only will disabled New Yorkers get an exemption, but these funds will be able to cover a multitude of accessibility projects, such as elevators and expanding on demand. With this crucial funding stream now available, elevators and installations and other accessibility improvements at 23 subway stations as per the 2020 to 2024 capital plan, which were deferred as a result of the June, quote, pause and considered, quote, low priority, now must be promptly completed. On demand has been incredibly life-changing, especially as I get older. I'm now 40 and my lupus gets worse and worse. On demand has been so great, and I wish more Access-Ride customers had access to it. My hope is that now, with congestion pricing underway, we could not only add more people to the on-demand program, but expand the service to include more options for customers like myself and incentives for drivers to work with disabled customer bases. I want this to work for everyone. Ultimately, the MTA must eliminate the rationing and the rides and the dollar amount subsidies, just as the subways and buses has no limits. At a minimum, and in short term, the MTA must increase per ride dollar subsidies in the amount per ride covered and offer a pilot to at least 5,000 customers before the end of 2025. We acknowledge the MTA's budget constraints, but to put it into context, the on-demand program represents roughly 0.5% of the MTA's $19.3 billion budget. The MTA must elsewhere balance the budget and expand the life-changing on-demand pilot program. And I didn't take on demand this morning because it was too expensive for me to take it from Upper Manhattan to Lower Manhattan. And I did a book trip, which got me here late, which is why I registered ultimately to do this virtually. So thank you so much and have a wonderful day. I'll be upstairs soon.
Thank you for your participation and comment. This concludes the public comment session for today's meeting.